Welcome in, Cardinals fans. You're watching Cardinals Today by Chat Sports, and right now I've got the latest Arizona Cardinals news and rumors of the day, their head coach search, their quarterback plan, all of it on today's show, and I'm your host, Joey O'Donohue. The first thing I think is very intriguing for you Cardinals fans, a new ESPN report on Kyler Murray's future. A bold prediction has been made for the Cardinals starting quarterback in 2026. Let's get right into that because I think it will be intriguing to you guys. Ben Solak, an ESPN analyst, has this big offseason prediction. The Cardinals will keep Murray. Everyone expects a trade, but his level of play and his contract aren't so bad that the Cardinals need to deal him right away. If they don't find a solid offer for Murray, keeping him for one more year is very defensible. And I started to ponder this. I started to think about it. Looked over Kyler Murray's last 4 seasons and the numbers that you see on your screen right now. And with all the rumors that he's probably going to be traded this year, and this year's quarterback market may suggest that won't actually be the case. It's not like he's awful. I actually believed in Kyler Murray to start his career, folks. I loved the offensive flashes, the mobility, had some injury issues and things have been on the decline since. But just a year ago, he had 26 touchdowns, 11 picks, nearly 4,000 yards, right? Nearly 70% completion percentage. This year when Jacoby Brissett came in, people argued that the offense was better, and Brissett had a decent season. 23 passing touchdowns, only 8 interceptions, right? But the QBR, pretty poor for both of them this season, and it doesn't really tell the full story when you look at the numbers, right? It's not like the Cardinals' offense was having some great outputtings. A lot of those were garbage time touchdowns for Brissett. The defense was giving up 40 or nearly 40 in a lot of their games down the stretch. It was embarrassing to watch, quite frankly, if you're a Cardinals fan. So consider that. And I do think height is a real factor for quarterbacks in the NFL, and you may hate hearing that, but Josh Allen, 6'5", Mahomes, 6'2", Burrow, 6'4". Even Trevor Lawrence, who's had a resurgence this year, is like 6'6". Lamar, 6'2". Okay? There's not many quarterbacks under 6 foot that succeed in this league. Dylan Gabriel sucks over in Cleveland, all right? And a lot of people are out on Murray. And I don't think he's their future, their long-term answer. You're not winning a Super Bowl with Kyler Murray. However, given the lack of quarterback options this offseason, the case for Kyler to start next year can be made. I sort of see where this new ESPN report is coming from. There's no free agent options, folks. We've gone through them. The best free agent quarterback's Malik Willis. Is he that much better than Kyler Murray? And in the NFL draft, all of a sudden, Dante Moore's not an option at the number 3 overall pick for Arizona. You're either trading a haul to get Fernando Mendoza, and now I mean a haul. That number 1 pick is more valuable than ever with the quarterback class. There's a drop-off from Mendoza to the rest, and Moore is not an option. So you'd have to send the house. You'd probably have to send Kyler to the Raiders, and even then, I don't know if they want to take on his contract. Or you're reaching to get a Ty Simpson, a Trinidad Chambliss if he does enter the draft. Drew Aller's stock is up right now. This quarterback class in 2026 is not good, and like I said, there's no free agent options. And it's unfortunate that this is the case right now because I do think Arizona has talent on their offense. There's a lot of pieces. There's weapons to work with for a quarterback. I love the receiver duo. I love Trey McBride. Could maybe use a running back given the James Conner injury last year, and he's getting a little bit older. Okay. Some analysts have the Cardinals drafting Jeremiah Love, actually, with that 3rd overall pick. I'll let you know if that's the case. Very high for a running back, but, if he does hit like a Saquon, he's got to be like a top 5 guy immediately if you're going to do that, right? But it is unfortunate that this is the case right now for the Cardinals. And so what it might be is, hey, Arizona bolsters their offensive line, right? Bolsters their needs, gives Kyler one more shot with a new head coach, maybe an offensive candidate to unleash what Kyler Murray can be, what he thought he could be when the Cardinals started 2-0, even maybe he had found his groove. And then they lose 14 of their last 15 games to end the year, guys. So perhaps that will be what Arizona does. Start Murray, build around him, make it a good place for a quarterback to develop. And if Murray's not your guy next year, you get your quarterback in 2027 where the QB class is stacked with Dante Moore, Arch Manning, guys like that. Coming up on today's show, we have a former Cardinal that has now emerged as the favorite to be the next head coach. We talk quarterback rumors. We're talking head coach rumors on the back half of today's show. But I want to give a special shout out just very quickly to our recent subscribers. I said we were going to do this. We hit 1,000, and I want to shout out the last 10 people to subscribe on your screen right there. Josh, AZ, Ronnie, Zona, T. Jones, Robbo, William, Terrence, One Airborne, and Loso. If you guys want shout outs, hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate you all because thank you. We hit 1,000 subscribers. That's massive for a new channel. All right, the road to 2,000 begins. We'll be able to make more videos if we get more subs. So just 996 away from that next big milestone. Hit that subscribe button. If you're a diehard Cardinals fan, I think you'll love it, what we have for you guys. Hopefully every day, pretty soon, if we can get more subscribers. Here's the favorite, Cardinals fans, Vance Joseph, all of a sudden, in the betting odds. A lot of analysts predicting Joseph to return to Arizona, this time as a head coach. Remember, they interviewed him back in the day and, well, ended up going with Jonathan Gannon. That didn't work out. But here's your updated odds. Vance Joseph now is plus 300. I like that Mike McCarthy snuck up at plus 650. You know, where's our Bruce Arians candidate, right? Our guy that's just a leader, that has success, goes to the playoffs. I think McCarthy might be a guy that Arizona could actually use, could actually be someone that fits the mold here because there's issues. You know, not a lot of the top candidates are going to pick Arizona. So you got to kind of get your own guy. Kubiak's top 3 on that as well. And then you see Brian Flores and Joe Brady, depending on what Buffalo does in their next playoff game. But Vance Joseph being the favorite, I just asked the question, isn't that a little contradictory? We talk about the pieces they have on offense. We talk about unleashing Kyler Murray. And then you go with the defensive guy. Like, if Vance Joseph is who they end up going with, he better bring in a dream offensive coordinator candidate, okay, to turn this ship around. And yes, defense was probably one of the biggest issues for the Cardinals this year. Absolutely. It's a Cardinal reunion in the making. Well, Vance Joseph's been head coach and had an 11-21 record. And one playoff season with him and Kingsbury and their 4 years in Arizona? You know, that defense in 2022, when he was the DC, was not good. They didn't have a top 10 defense, and there were pieces to work with, okay? Matt Burke, actually, defensive line coach in that final season as well, when they only had, 4 wins? 3 wins, I believe. And Burke's getting an interview as well. So he's a very respected defensive mind in NFL circles. I get that. 53 years old. You know, I don't hate it. I think he'll bring a good demeanor. But it's not enthralling. It's not exciting. It makes me think the Cardinals were going to have another year of mediocrity here, right? It's nothing new. It's nothing fresh. They didn't like him back then. Of course he's successful with the Broncos. Look at who they have. They're Pat Surtain. You got everybody and your mother to work with over there. Like I said, 3-14, okay, in their final season. There's nothing to write home about. I don't know if I'm in the minority here, but I see a lot of Cardinals fans saying they hate it, the idea of a Vance Joseph reunion. And I like him. I would love for him to have a resurgence, and come back here and lead us to victory. I don't see it happening. We're not the Broncos defense, okay? We need a lot more help than that. And if you're going to go with the defensive leader, I prefer Robert Solak at this time. It's something new for Arizona. I could see it now. I could see him on the sideline wearing the red colors. What he's done in San Francisco with a banged-up 49ers defense, go out there, you beat Philadelphia. That's a little bit more the style of what Arizona needs. Okay, someone who can do more with less. Joseph does more with more. I think it's a fair take. You tell me in the comments section. Actually, though, ESPN's Dan Graziano has a new prediction for Arizona, okay? Klint Kubiak will be the next Cardinals head coach. That's a little more exciting for me, all right? What he's done in Seattle has been impressive as their offensive coordinator. And again, you talk about more with less. Well, Sam Darnold, everybody was out on him until this year. He has brought the most out of a quarterback that needs to be put in positions to succeed. Here's just some examples of where the Seahawks offense ranks. They're top 3 in the NFL in points per game. Sounds like something we need, doesn't it? Yeah, they also top 5 in not giving up sacks. Arizona, bottom 6 in that metric. So I love that for Arizona. I think you poach someone from the NFC West. It's an offensive candidate, a younger, up-and-coming one, son of a Super Bowl winning head coach, Gary Kubiak. That could help the Cardinals take this next leap on offense that we need. My opinion on the matter. All right? But, as I said, Vance Joseph's the favorite right now as it stands. So in the comment section, sound off for me. Do you want the Cardinals to hire Vance Joseph? I'm asking you. Type Y for yes, type N for no. I just need one letter in the comment section. You can give me more if you want, but everybody get down there and tell me if you would want the Cardinals to hire Vance Joseph. Let me know with a Y or an N in the comment section. And that's going to do it for today's episode of Cardinals Today by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Joey O'Donohue. Really appreciate you all being here with me. Hit that subscribe button, like I said, so we can make more videos, more content for you guys. Love doing this, and I'll see you next time.